We're celebrating our 10th anniversary of Sustainability Week. But just to kind of think about this, if we do this again in 10 years, what do you think we need to be prioritizing for the next 10 years to be able to say we've made a decade count?
I think that's a really broad question to answer, but I think some of the initiatives that you're taking, particularly around food waste, I find really helpful. As I mentioned at my panel, food waste accounts for up to 10% of global greenhouse gas emissions. And I think it's an incredibly important aspect of the challenge that we need to tackle, and bringing more insights and discussions and innovators together to drive a difference in that area will be incredibly exciting for me to watch. Yeah.
That's a really good point, because as you say, the food waste accounts for so much, and then on top of that, if we think about food loss and waste, which is post-harvest all the way through to the consumer, it's not just the food that's going to waste, it's also all of the input, all of the emissions that have happened at the farm, basically lost. And I know that, of course, as a leader at HelloFresh, you've made a lot of effort in thinking about food waste and thinking about how to manage it more effectively. Maybe we could talk about specifically using technology and AI, data analytics, or any other modeling techniques. How do you use some of that insight in order to tackle food waste?
So just some background. As you mentioned, food waste accounts for a massive amount of greenhouse gas emission, but in terms of actual portion of consumable food that's wasted, that's about 20% of food that is available to consumers that's going to waste. And about 60% of that happens at the household level. If you look at the whole supply chain, there's strong incentives, scale, and sort of technology in place to manage down the waste as much as possible. From source to the table, but you can, as you might imagine, your pantry and fridge is quite possibly one of the worst inventory systems that you have in the whole system, and the consumers don't have the option to shop for exactly the ingredients in the right quantities that they need to make their food. So a lot of it goes in the bin, goes off in the fridge, and so on and so forth. So we use technology to help customers choose exactly the recipe they want for their week, for the number of people in the household, in a rotating menu. And by the way, that's an extremely difficult thing to manage from a production and supply chain perspective, to give people hundreds of recipe choices that rotate every week and deliver it fresh, not frozen. And so a lot of technology goes into managing that. And also we use a lot of technology to manage down packaging, for example. We have a packaging configurator. Depending on what you choose and in what quantity you choose, you can manage down the packaging required to safely insulate that product and deliver it to your home. And so technology is what we're all about in order to achieve our mission.
Yeah, and you're looking at it across, even from your own business model, across the entire value chain in a way, from the production and sourcing of it all the way through to the packaging and the transport of it as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
And of course, but sourcing and even local transportation can be very energy intensive. So how are you thinking about, reducing your footprint as part of that?
Yeah, so it's really important to look at the entire supply chain and how you can optimize and minimize your footprint overall. That may mean, so for a business like us, we put a little bit more into packaging while we massively reduce food waste. As an example, in transportation in particular, that has knock-on effects on our packaging as well, and how much ice we produce, for example. So we actually have the largest chilled delivery fleet, electrified delivery fleet in Europe. 500 vans that deliver our food chilled, so it doesn't have to be frozen, it doesn't require ice within Europe. And we use technology to optimize our routes so that there's minimal sort of wastage in effort and driving distance in that part of our supply chain as well.
And are you seeing a lot of demand for this in the UK in particular? I know you focus on the UK, or are you seeing customer preferences change? Any insight into customer preferences here?
Yeah, absolutely. So the demand is there. We deliver over 1 billion meals around the world in 18 different countries every year. And some of our new verticals are growing at a rapid clip. For example, people know us sort of globally for our meal kit business, but we have a at scale, incredibly fast growing, ready to eat business as well as a pet food business and so on. So we have lots of verticals. So this model of delivering directly to customers, giving them a large number of large choice, to allow them to have more varied meals and break the trade-off that they constantly have to go through of, functional benefits. For example, you talked about trends. High protein diet is, for example, is an extremely important trend right now, and that has performance links to it. People also want to have delicious meal, and they want to have choice, and they want to be sustainable. And I think we need more solutions like ours that help customers actually break that trade-off, so that we can actually make a difference to our quality of life and consumer experience, as well as to the planet.
Yeah, and sustainable food that's affordable and healthy should not have to be a choice. You should be able to have those things without making trade-offs or compromises there.
Exactly.
So thank you, Adam. Last question for you. Just kind of taking this back to a forward-looking lens, what is a technology or one idea, issue that holds the most promise, you think, in this space for your industry?
There are so many. So HelloFresh works across all parts of the delivery system. So we produce the food, we deliver the food, we package it and source it and so on. And I think in general, AI has a role to play in really unlocking the next level of efficiencies in our supply chain, whether it be our packaging configurator or even delivering more choice and more personalization to our customers without increasing our footprint. So for example, we just invested double-digit million euros in building one of our flagship production facilities in Derby here in the UK, in one of the most sustainable sort of production site, food specific purposed production sites, and it has a lot of new sort of production technology, so that we can deliver more choice to our customers without actually increasing the footprint of our facilities. And we need to look to invest in more technologies like that going forward.
That's a great note to end on. AI and food production is really the future. Well, it's actually here now, but we're so much more promise even in the future. Thank you, Adam. That's been really wonderful and great to chat to you.
Thank you very much.